Imagine you are on a racetrack flat out in the third gear. You upshift and suddenly the engine feels dead for a moment. RPM drops, acceleration pauses, and then it starts pulling again. Now imagine if that pause never happened. That's the reason why engineers add more gears. I did talk about this in a recent short, but today let me talk about this process of adding more gears in detail. So yeah, while on a racetrack we want the engine of our car to be in the power band. If there are less number of gears, the RPM of the engine will drop while shifting, pulling it away from its peak power. Adding more number of gears will reduce the speed gap between each gear. It will keep the engine close to its peak power, which it can climb much faster. So yeah, adding more gears to the gearbox sounds simple. Just split the ratio and it's done, right? Not at all. Randomly adding more gears will destroy the drivability of the car. Let's look into this idea. I have added 2 gears. One between the first and the second gear and the second one between the third and the fourth gear. Basically, we added a new second gear and a new fourth gear. At first glance, this looks good. The RPM drop after each shift is quite small. But here's the real problem. RPM drop is not progressive. Some shifts barely drop the RPM while others drop it more than expected. Which means the engine keeps jumping in and out of its usable range. So instead of smooth acceleration, the car feels inconsistent. Sometimes eager, sometimes lazy. Even with the same throttle input. And that's the key mistake. Gearboxes are not designed to reduce the RPM drop. They are designed to control how the engine experiences each upshift. And that's why you can't randomly add gears, you have to design them. If this kind of engineering thinking makes sense to you, then you should subscribe to my channel. Because this channel is all about breaking automotive systems down, explaining why things work in a certain way. Now when we actually design the gear ratios, we start by considering the same first and the last gear of the stock gearbox. Why? Because the first gear defines the launch and the wheel torque, while the last gear defines the top speed. And everything in between is where the real engineering happens. Using the gear ratio design formulas from the book Vehicle Dynamics in a nutshell, we then calculate the intermediate gear ratios. The goal here is to spread the gear ratios progressively between the first and the last gear, not inserting them randomly. You would know this process very well if you have read Vehicle Dynamics in a nutshell. And when you calculate the gear ratios perfectly, every upshift drops the engine by similar percentage of RPM, which means the engine stays in the same performance window after every upshift. And that makes the car accelerate smoothly. It feels predictable and delivers consistent torque all the way through the gears. Once the ratios are finalized, the gears can be machined and heat treated. Now this isn't optional, because on a racetrack, gears have to survive high loads lap after lap. If you get this wrong, then the gearbox won't last a single lap. So once the gears are ready, it's now time to pack them up together. And here's where things get interesting. Now stop and think for a moment. We just added 2 more gears. Housing 7 gear ratios inside a stock 5-speed gearbox casing is impossible. The gearbox becomes longer and suddenly it doesn't fit inside the engine bay. Adding to this, other challenges start arising. This is the reason why automakers go for a DCT or a DSG transmission. They allow more gears while keeping the gearbox quite compact. And the latest one that Skoda is providing in the new Kushaq, the 8-speed unit achieves this by using just 2 gear sets. Click here to watch how that gearbox works. And I will see you guys on next Thursday at 7:30 PM. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.